Hello everyone, and this is Week back again on another live review. Today I'm going to review a fragrance that I've been hunting for a couple of times. It wasn't easy for me to get a sample of that, and this is Gravitas by the English house of Naughton and Wilson. And Naughton and Wilson is maybe familiar to you because it's a brand of the English fragrance reviewer, Mr. Smelly. He's a fabulous guy. He reviews lots of fragrances, daily fragrances, vintage fragrances, new fragrances, and I really love the way he approached the fragrances, and also he's a true connoisseur. And I really wanted to sample his fragrance, and I wanted to give you my opinion. I started to know about this fragrance by one of the best reviewer, the master of all the reviewers, in my humble opinion, on YouTube, Lanier Smith. And I really have a lots of respect for Lanier Smith, and I know that this guy here, we are on the same mood, and we are on the same, we playing on the same ballpark, and when he likes something, it's I'm sure that it's also my taste. So when Lanier Smith started to talk about Gravitas, I wanted to test this fragrance. I couldn't reach easily the this fragrance. I don't know why, because when I wanted to get it was the COVID era, and the mail and the shipping from Europe to USA was very hard. So this fragrance came out in 2020 and was the beginning of that dark era we've been through. So always been in my back of my mind to test this fragrance and to give my opinion, because if you know me, you know very well that I'm a vintage lover. And I started to do my journey with vintage fragrances. The first fragrance I reviewed was Equipage by Hermes, and so I reviewed lots of vintage fragrances. I even reviewed fragrances that never been reviewed on YouTube before. Fragrances such as Anarchist by Caron, fragrances such as Signor Ricci, Ricci Club, lots of stuff that I reviewed, and there are vintage fragrances. At that time, I was maybe the only one. There were no others. After that, others came to the game and they started to review vintage fragrances, such as my buddy in UK, Rich Mitch. He has a great collection, and also there is a Ramsey in USA. Also, he's a big fan of vintage fragrances. But I was the first who really started to review vintage fragrances, and step by step, maybe others they got encouraged, or maybe they were vintage fragrance lovers as well, and they started to review vintage fragrances. Hi, I don't know who is there. Hello, anyway. Gravitas. Why we are talking about Gravitas? Gravitas is by Naughton and Wilson, the brand established by Mr. Smelly and his partner. And I'm going to give you first the notes breakdown. This fragrance was released in 2020, so I'm not wrong, exactly at the beginning of that dark era of COVID. And the nose behind this is John Stephen. Top notes are lavender, mandarin orange, and bergamot. Heart notes are cardamom, coriander, and pepper. Base notes are vanilla, patchouli, akmos, and ambergris. Main accords are aromatic, warm and spicy, lavender, citrus, fresh spicy, vanilla, earthy, patchouli, woody, and mossy. This fragrance is listed as an aromatic fougere, which is absolutely the right description for this fragrance. It's a very fantastic aromatic fougere. I'm going to tell more about it, but I also wanted to talk a little bit about that the perfumer behind this masterpiece, who is John Stephen. John Stephen, he's a perfumer who works a lot in UK and had lots of great fragrances deal before. And this fellow, he's a really a very talented fragrance maker, and he started to work, and he worked with Naughton and Wilson. He created for Naughton and Wilson Bon Viveur, Chypre Fulminare, Gravitas, and Gravitas Essentia, which is the last one, Gravitaspourhomme. So I got to try the rest. And he really done a great job. There is nothing to add about this fact that he really done a great job. Why he done a great job, and this is the reason I'm talking about this fragrance, is because this fragrance, it's a reminder of old school fougères that they are nowadays a little bit forgotten, but also remind me of main fragrances such as Fougere Royale by Hubigan, and also Zeno by Davidoff, and also somehow remind me of Eau Sauvage, the vintage version of Eau Sauvage by Christian Dior, and many other fragrances come to my mind as soon as I start to test this fragrance. Even remind me somehow of Pour Monsieur by Chanel, the original one. And it's a fantastic blend, really well made by John Stephan. And I think also this fragrance has the vibe of the old school fragrances, but somehow has a modern twist of new fragrances, which is pretty nice because it's not very outdated. It's not old fashioned. It's old fashioned. It's a kind of modern classic, and this is the most important thing. I think when you are wearing a fragrance such as this, is an excellent fougere fragrance. And you know the price is absolutely moderate. It's around, I think, 95 British pound. So it's around, let's say, $120 plus the shipment and the taxes will be around 145, 150 bucks. And this fragrance, I really wanted to share my opinion about this because I respected the work of a vintage lover such as Mr. Smelly. He's a true connoisseur, and I wanted to know what was the projection of this. Projection is great, longevity is great, and the sillage is perfect. And the material definitely are very natural to my nose. I really smell great material. Great oils have been used inside. I think they are very natural. I don't detail lots of synthetic inside this fragrance. Hi everyone. I don't know who is online, who is not online, but at least you can say hello. The packaging is great, very classic, and the bottle is perfectly a masterpiece itself. It's a gold plate engraved with the logo and the name of Gravitas. The cap is a heavy metal, and this fragrance really amazed me. I wanted to thank Mr. Smelly. I don't know if he's going to watch this review or not, but I want to really to thank him because he really done a great job. And this is something we appreciate because, you know, after all, he's not a big company. It's a small company, and they tried their best. They got the great perfumer, and also I'm sure that he gave lots of idea to John Stephan, and really they finished to make a great fragrance, a great British cologne, gentleman cologne, extremely gentlemanly, with the hints of a classic French fougere style fragrances of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Somehow remind me also of another forgotten fragrance that I reviewed, the original Green Water by Jacques Fat. I'm talking about the original because there is a new version which has nothing to do with the original. I'm talking about the original Green Water by Jacques Fat. This fragrance somehow reminded me of that, maybe because of the bergamot, mandarin, or all the citrusy notes here, that they are extremely close to that one. And it's a fantastic fragrance. Really, all I can say is I'm very happy. I'm going to order my bottle. For sure, I'm going to order my bottle because I want to have this in my collection. Mandarin orange and bergamot, exactly. And yeah, maybe that's why it has that twist of green water. So this fragrance, It's a masterpiece in the bottle. And I think if you like vintage fragrances or you like old school fragrances, for example, if you like fragrances such as Devin Aramis, or if you like fragrances such as Aramis, or as Pour Monsieur by Chanel, or Fougere Royale by Houbigant, then you should have absolutely Gravitas in your collection, because this fragrance it's exactly on the same ballpark. And somehow I think the perfumer and Mr. Smelly both, they knew what they've been doing, and it's very purpose. They done a modern classic aromatic fougere fragrance. I love the fougere fragrances, and it's a kind of fragrance that it's very gentlemanly. You have to follow certain dress code. You have to wear it very gentlemanly, and with a nice, for example, with a nice Gucci loafers and a nice Ralph Lauren polo, and a fantastic match will be with wearing at also Gravitas by the end. This fragrance, it's a fragrance that I think it's already a classic. Maybe the only little issue with the fragrance is the worldwide distribution. I think, in my humble opinion, Mr. Smelly should try to find a shipment through Amazon or Rakuten, because it's not very easy to get it. And also, the problem is when you started to pay the shipment cost and you pay the taxes, when you are little bit, the price get higher and higher, but still it's a very affordable fragrance. But anyway, one point I have to say: always test. Try to get a sample of the fragrances from Naughton and Wilson. I will also sample the other fragrances from this house. I'm very interested to know what they've done with the other fragrances. I know that Lanier Smith, he always talk good about these fragrances, and Lanier, he's a very fine connoisseur, and he know what he's talking about. I really respect his point of view. So this is my take on Gravitas. A very nice surprise, and also I wanted to thank Mr. Smelly. I wanted to thank Mr. Smelly for two reasons. I wanted to thank Mr. Smelly for his work as a fragrance reviewer, and for what he's done with his fragrances, because he really done a great job. And Nathan and Wilson Gravitas, it was a very nice surprise for me. So that's it. That's my take on Gravitas. And I am not here. I'm very neutral. I got my sample by myself. I didn't ask Mr. Smelly to send me a sample or a bottle. I just wanted to really be very neutral. I just wanted to be a casual customer. I just wanted to test it by myself and give my fair opinion on this fragrance. And my fair opinion is a fantastic aromatic fougere, and I am very happy about it, because when you ask for a sample or when you ask for a bottle, obviously you always feel that you owe something. Then you have to be a little bit nicer, even if that's very pleasing. But not me. I played my own game. I got it by myself. I tested, and I really give my fair opinion based on my own personal experience. And it was a very big surprise and very delightful fragrance to test. And I think it's a real modern classic. And this fragrance is made for all the vintage fragrances lovers. If you are among them, then Gravitas by Nathan and Wilson will be a big surprise for you. And really, you have to test it, and then you have to have it in your wardrobe or in your collection, because this fragrance deserves to really be cherished by many fragrance lovers. That's my take on Gravitas. I'll be back soon with another review in a couple of days. God bless you all. Stay fragrant and wear only what you want to wear. Don't follow the hype because the hype might always fool you. And remember, this channel, it's unbiased. On this channel, we always tell the truth. And to be very honest with you, I never had even a private chat with Mr. Smelly. You can ask him. We never exchanged any mail together, and he never even approached me. To be very honest with you, I'm very honest. He never approached me to do a promotion for his fragrance. That was my own quest. That was my own personal quest to find out about this fragrance, and I started to be curious about this fragrance after I watched the review of Lanier Smith. God bless you all. Talk to you very soon. Cheerio.